What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. And in this video, we're actually going to be covering a guy named Soham. Apparently, got caught with 5 jobs or multiple jobs. Who knows? Without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let's dive right in.
Last week, the entire Silicon Valley startup ecosystem was brought to its knees by one man, the Soham Parekh. If you haven't heard this name yet, imagine this. You are a Silicon Valley startup founder, you've got VC money burning a hole in your pocket for some lame AI business idea, but the problem is that you need human-powered engineers, good ones and fast. If you happen to be one of these startup founders, there's a good chance you interviewed Soham Parekh. Hell, he might even be working at your startup right now because he's mastered the art of crushing the computer science interview. Tons of companies have given this guy job offers, but rather than limit himself to just one, he decided to work at all of them. He's a developer who turned remote work into a multi-threaded concurrent career and broke the internet in the process. In today's video, we'll take a look at the current state of the job market in tech and find out how Soham Parekh was able to stay 10x overemployed. It is July 7th, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. The programming job.
So, off the rip already, right? We have this guy who comes out and is working at all these startups, and I think it's the structure of the startups. I think it's the only way this happened is because of the mindset of the actual startups, and the reason why it's a bigger deal is because they're all startups. And I'm gonna get deeper into this all in a second, right? For starters, my first question is, why did it take so long to find out that he accepted all the jobs? Because if he was doing all the work and he was getting everything done that he was supposed to get done in a timely manner that they were expecting him, how did they not find out? And the reason why, because my first question is, don't you have meetings every day or almost every day? Are there not conflictions in the meetings, especially if they're all Silicon Valley, which means they're all functioning around the same day, which means your manager are all probably having stand-ups around the same time about what you're working on and things like that. Maybe he said the wrong thing in a stand-up. Who knows? Hopefully Fireship has more ideas. Mind you, his channel will be linked in the description down below because he's the best news report that I've seen on this actual topic so far. I was going to find an article, but oh well. But for me, I'm sitting here like, is there any meeting conflictions, or how did he not mess up 5 different projects that he's working on and accidentally like mention what he was doing in stand up in the wrong one? I'm not sure, 100% sure just yet. The main thing that this is a bigger issue is because these startups, they're banking more off of like your investment in the actual company. And if you're not focusing 100% on them and you're spread out, maybe the company got jealous because they could be getting more out of you. Especially startups are extremely fast paced. They wanted to get this stuff rolling as quick as possible so that they don't burn through their capital money and keep it long enough. And if the same person is going out here getting all these checks from all these different people, especially if they're paying them in USD, and he's in India. If he's in India, I think he's in India because most of the news reports I've seen were in India. Matter of fact, and they're getting through it. A lot of these companies now are hiring in India because it's cheaper. They are. It's a true thing for engineers. A lot of them, for certain type of software work, they're hiring out of India. I've actually seen a lot of other companies, they only hire specific employees in the US, and then they hire some technical employees in India or other countries. And I guarantee you it's to save on the engineering costs because they can't pay what Apple is paying for US talent, or more structured companies for the same talent. Now, the more structured companies, they might be hiring out of those other countries as well, but it is for different types of work. As a matter of fact, this is just from my industry knowledge and everything to let you guys know. But yeah, that's where it's coming from. The last thing that I'm sitting here is the reason he probably got away with this is because these companies probably meet once a week. The engineering team probably meets once a week, and it's a lot easier to navigate it. I've seen, especially during COVID time, a lot of people who, when they started remote work multiple jobs. It was a normal thing, especially in the US. A lot of CEOs can own, I saw people's comments, especially on this video. A lot of CEOs can run multiple companies at once, but an employee can't work at multiple companies at once. Here's the kicker. I guarantee, we're going to find out in this video, I guarantee there was a conflict of interest probably somewhere, where same startups were working on the same project, probably same concept, or doing the same type of work, and there's non-compete, which then allowed them to be upset, because a lot of companies that do non-compete work, you cannot do certain types of work while under a non-compete, or work for different companies while under a non-compete. You cannot. So I'm curious if he signed one of those, but who knows? Let's dive in. I feel like that's the biggest issue when it comes down to it, but let's see.
Market has been stuck in feast or famine mode for several years now. If you're looking to land your first job, entry-level positions are harder than ever to come by, and layoffs are still consistently happening at big tech. Although not technically FANG, Microsoft just laid off 9,000 souls a few days ago. But FANG feels like a very outdated acronym in 2025. Going forward, I'll either use Mango or Gay Man. Just let me know which one you prefer in the comments. The job market's tough to break into right now, but if you have legit skills in machine learning and data science, you might find yourself getting 9-figure offers from Zuckerbucks to poach you from Scam Altman. Initially, Altman said that nobody took up Zuckerborg on his offer, but the new superintelligence roster at Meta would beg to differ, and OpenAI recruiters are seething on Twitter. Unfortunately though, AngularJS developers like me are not getting any 9-figure offers. The job market might be broken, but if you know how to exploit it, you can still make millions of dollars. Soham Parekh is a talented software developer who focused all of his energy on mastering the interview process to impress people who make the hiring decisions. He would entice them with a flattering email about how awesome their company is, then had the actual LeetCode skills to crush the interview. Once hired, he would half-ass just enough work to stay employed as long as possible, while simultaneously doing the same thing at 4 or 5 other companies. If he was making $200K per job, he could easily clear $1 million per.
He was doing half-ass work. Half-ass work. Making all that money doing half-ass work? Boy, you better be trying your hardest. This is why it's an issue. This is why it is an issue. You can't be half-assing. They piss. You wasting their money. They feel like you pissing on their money, yo. You try so hard, and that actually brings up a good point. I just did a video on Zuck poaching talent and everything, and Sam Altman talking about it. Look for it on this video. Look at it in the previous video. It'll probably be out before this one. It for sure should be out before this one. But the thing is, just because I feel like a lot of the interviewing processes are kind of somewhat outdated nowadays, and some people believe, or some managers or companies believe, that if they can get through this interview, they're the best candidate, and that's probably not true. It most likely is not true at all. There are probably some employees that would work 10 times harder than that other person, hence this person got 5 positions and he's half-assing it. Can't do that at a startup. Startups pressure you. They are strict on deadlines. They are not like even bigger companies. You really can't even half-ass at times. Sometimes you can. It just depends on like what's going on, what kind of environment you're in, and things in that kind of like scale or whatever. But not in a startup. Not at all. Especially with how fast-paced they're going. I guess it all depends on your environment and everything, but yeah, just because somebody can crack your interviews and do that doesn't make them the best person for you to be working for them. Shocker.
Per year doing this. And even if he underperforms at a job, it could still take weeks or even months to fire him. Initially, people speculated that he was doing arbitrage by hiring a team of interns to make all of this possible, but he claims that he was working 120 hours per week, and all of his code was organic and handcrafted by Soham himself. He's been running this grift since 2022 and didn't even rely on AI slop. He only got caught because the founder of Playground AI dropped this bombshell tweet that the guy was taking advantage of them. It quickly went viral because dozens of other startups realized that Soham was working working for them as well. He of course was quickly fired, but he became something of a folk hero in the tech world, and it's truly a badge of honor to have hired Soham or to at least have interviewed him. If he never reached out for an interview, it's likely because your company sucks. But he's not the only guy doing this. There are many Soham Pareks out there. The overemployed subreddit has 400,000 members, with all sorts of people bragging about how they hold multiple remote jobs. Ultimately though, Soham received a lot of hate for his actions online, and even said he's not proud of what he did, but the story has a happy ending. He entered into an exclusive relationship with Darwin AI and has a golden opportunity to start his own technical interview prep company. But you have 80,000 hours in your career, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year for 40 years. That's a lot of time to make a positive impact on the
Yeah, and this is basically a sponsorship for his video, but yeah, I think a lot of people should be able to work. If you can maintain hours, you should be able to have multiple jobs. There's a lot of people who have multiple jobs, especially ones that are not remote in America. I believe it's okay to an aspect of you doing what you're supposed to do and how much you're getting done. And the only reason he's fired, it's not because of the non-compete. I can see you getting fired due to non-compete reasons, right? If you're signed a contract and you had to go through the non-compete and everything, I can understand somebody being fired or let go for that. But it seems that one of the companies I worked at, they caught on, they saw his production, and they were like, yeah, he's just taking advantage of us to get a bag and get the money, and he's not really producing how he should. And when he did that, other startups found out, and they were like, this is not a great employee. In this new social media era, I mean, you see how this can all work out together, and they all let him go, which probably took some time. But yeah, he got paid a lot though in that time, and he was making away with it. I think a lot of people should be able to, as long as you can manage it the right way, and the companies can work. You can synergize your hours properly. I don't see anything wrong with working multiple jobs. The problem is he was taking advantage of it and not really working, quote unquote, or doing good things. Like if you really put in an aspect here, he said he worked 120 hours, right? An average work week is 40 without breaks, probably 35. So alone, if he has like 5 jobs that he's working on, right? And I just divide it by 35, that doesn't equal out to the full workload of 5 positions. It equates to about 3.4 in a sense. So about 3.5 positions, not 5. So, and somebody working well over, working at 120 hours is actually impressive. Maybe if he limited it down to a few less companies and put in better work, he would be able to hold and maintain those jobs and those positions. But he probably extended himself, and that's how he got caught. Knowing where to balance yourself and the work that you do is very and extremely important. And like I say always, hopefully that this is a learning example for people to learn from, to be able to do stuff the right way and correctly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Everybody who does all of those, especially those who comment and subscribe and like. I appreciate y'all. And if y'all share, double mess with y'all, because y'all are getting me out there. I really do appreciate that, because it leads to more people who I get to interact with and learn from and build off of new thoughts. Also, if you want to send me any recommendations, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Will be in the description down below. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.